go, go. Come on, everybody, keep coming. Go, 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 go.
Do what you're told.
It was actually my first time ever doing a training like this. My name is Varsha Thibault, and I work for the Eleanor Kirk Foundation. Because of all these blended modules that they had, they gave us techniques on how to relax yourself, calm yourself down, and in what moments can you reach for help.
Yeah, I do. I know you. I know you.
Phones. Everything!
My name is Frank SMI. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Journalist Security, GJS. I was working for the Committee to Protect Journalists in the 2000s, and during the Iraq War, the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003, a number of journalists were killed by firing, including by U.S. forces. And there was an organization that was founded in London called the International News Safety Institute. I worked with the Committee to Protect Journalists to have me serve on the board of that London group representing CPJ to make sure we had a voice. And that allowed me to get a front row seat on the program of providing training to journalists. And I raised the question that 3 out of 4 local journalists around the world are getting murdered outright, not dying in combat or in stepping on a landmine or been an airstrike, but being murdered outright.
You know, give them a little, little bit. Don't drag them to the ground.
By the end of the decade, I decided it was time to start my own organization to provide a different kind of training, building on the work that others had done, especially former British military personnel, providing hostile environments and emergency first aid training for civilians and in particular journalists. This didn't exist back when I went to El Salvador, for instance, in the 80s. I got certified as an EMT because it was the only training available. So I appreciate what our predecessors did, but we started looking at it with a different approach, incorporating emotional self-care into the training and stress management.
What's going on inside my brain, inside my body.
In a way that hadn't been done before. Incorporating digital safety. And what browser to use for sensitive research, right? Because some browsers are safer than others, so we're going to see that. Because by the 2010s, it was clear that digital safety was becoming a major aspect of security, which has only increased. And addressing things like sexual assault, which hadn't really been on the radar of hostile environments training before, and how to do that appropriately in a way that would be supportive of women entering the workforce and continuing to act as journalists on the front lines of conflicts, and at the same time trying to find ways to keep everybody as safe as possible.
Funny? You think this is funny?
No.
Because this isn't funny because you feel like you can just intrude on my space here.
I was feeling a little more sympathetic towards you in the sense that I was listening because you were like, oh my God, leave or something like that. So I was like, oh, I'm understanding you. In my head, I was like applying that lesson, you know, understanding where they're coming from, things like that. That was probably stupid. But so is that a good tactic to have in this kind of situation or what?
Kind of what we're talking about here when my, body like shaky or like voice is changing, and again, it's paying attention to your gut too. So here we're giving you all like little tools, like planting little seeds because you're going to be the one in the moment that's going to then make the best decision for you. My name is Angela Meyer. I am the GJS Empowerment Director. We're putting, the clients through real life scenarios. I told you and your group that it is not safe to be here. They know are not real, but physiologically it can feel real. I'm gonna get you fired. That's a promise. Soldiers, let's go. So oftentimes, people get triggered from past experiences. So I'm the one that is then sitting with them, kind of counseling them, if you will, for those next steps. Awareness of how you are in the moment, physically, mentally, emotionally, and soulfully, is power.
Then you've got the detonator here. I'm Paul Burton, the training director for GGS. We only have 3 days to teach things Okay, we've got a mortar round on the right. So we've got to whittle it down and only teach what they really need and what they can remember. To your right. And then they remember it, and then they can use it. Unless there's a life-threatening problem here, like she's in a burning car or something.
That was amazing. And this is probably the most useful exercise all of us could do, because the chances of the car accident on the road in those countries is...
I mean, I really didn't know that if you bleed out, you're dead in three minutes. And that massive bleeding through the arteries is something that absolutely has to be taken care of first.
You do not go out there and get shot. So the first sound is the bullet just missing you.
My name is W Namiki, and I'm working for a Japanese TV station based in Tokyo. I have a chance to go to Israel in future, so I imagine the most situation where some really excited people will gather around and then how I had better to act. So it's a good lesson for me.
A sniper can't have his eye up on the scope all day long. So how are we going to get across? Go!
You've got to constantly make sure that the scenarios are realistic.
So keep your eyes open.
And also they're challenging.
Okay, the vehicle is immobilized, it's stopped, everybody out.
And there's ways that people can find their agency in every scenario, whatever that may be. And that's something they sometimes have to discover for themselves, I think. How much they can find and how much agency they have.
Just tell me, I know it's gonna hurt, but I wanna raise your leg and put it up on your knee.
Okay, I'm gonna raise your leg.
All right.
Okay. Instead of freezing in the moment and not knowing what to do, this exercise or this course has actually helped me to breathe in and just spur into action at the moment. So I'm grateful for that.
Can we stay sitting in the vehicle? No, the bullets are going to go straight the way through. So we got to get out. Okay, you can get up beyond this side of the building.
Is something blocking your airway?
My name is Indre Sabalunaite. I work with the Marshall Legacy Institute. Our mission is to help countries help themselves recover from conflict, primarily by accelerating landmine clearance operations. The course definitely helped to prepare me for some unexpected maybe situation that would happen, and I think just increasing the situational awareness. Just to always be present and to know, to watch for the surroundings, how to travel safely, what to do in an emergency, and so forth.
I think what we're trying to do is teach people similar habits and protocols that'll help them stay safe and maintain an awareness in what is increasingly a difficult and more dangerous environments, both at home and abroad.